In this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you could set up a report template that you can use for all your assignments, or maybe something for work, or any kind of file really, and use some of the tools. Now, I have already set up a set of styles for my report, and I have a main heading, a subheading, and then a sub-subheading. I know that's not quite what you call it, but that third level heading, so that if I want to break one of my subtopics up further, then I can. I've also set up the normal text, and the formatting that I've used for each well, apart from normal, the rest of it kind of fits in with the CCN guidelines. So the normal style is set up for our normal text, and remember that should be submitted in Arial font, size 12 and double line spaced. So I've set that up already. You can look at the previous video or another video showing you how to do that. I've also set up my heading styles, and this is a personal preference. You can use different sizes, but I would advise sticking to Arial so that you've got that consistency all the way through. But I have size 18 for my main headings, my subheadings I have size 16, and my third level headings I have size 14. They are all bold. You can use underlined if you prefer things like this. This is my personal preference, but make sure your normal text, your normal style is set up to Arial size 12 double line spaced. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to delete that text that's on screen and start from scratch as if I had a blank document. Okay, but I just wanted you to see exactly what I had set up already. Okay, so starting off with a brand new blank document, and as you can see, I've not even saved it yet. So brand new blank document, and what I'm going to do is I am going to set it up as a report. So in your module handbooks, you will have a report layout within there that you can use, or a structure that you can use. Just remember that discussion section is the one that should not have the heading discussion, but you will have appropriate headings to lead the reader through the different topics that you want to discuss within that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a title page, and in Microsoft Word that is using a cover page. So we go through to Insert, choose Cover Page, and then from here you have got plenty of options in here. I'm just going to choose this second one, keep it nice and plain. You can choose whatever one you want. It's your report at the end of the day. Okay, just remember not to have your name anywhere. So I'm going to choose the first one. It's nice and simple and straightforward. The only thing that I am going to get rid of is this part, the author part. So if I click on the three dots there, and then I can get rid of that. And again, this other information here is not necessary, so I'm going to get rid of those as well. You may want to add in your word count on your cover page. In fact, you'll probably find in some of your assignments you're asked to do that. You can do that in your footer area, or you can add in where I've just taken out the bits and pieces. It will depend what you've got available on your front cover. I generally add it in the footer area here. You've just got to be aware that some of the front covers or the cover pages will have elements that will cover that up. So you just may need to add in a blank line somewhere, and it's not letting me do that in this particular one. So I'm just going to put it in, and you'll see it's hidden. Okay, so you could put it in, so just be careful on what you choose for your cover pages. You may have to move things around a little bit. So actually, to save me time, I'm just not going to include that in this particular one. Okay, so for this one, I've got my cover page. I'll change my document title once I know what my report's about. That's fine, I'll leave that for the time being. But on my second page, I want to have my executive summary. Okay, so remember, you will not have to have this in every single report. So this is a section that could come out, but I'm going to put it in there anyway so that I've got it if I do need it. And I'm going to have that as one of my main headings. It will appear in my table of contents, which will come after this. That's absolutely fine. Okay, I'm going to start a new page, and to do that I am going to put in a page break. Now, there are lots of different ways. I use a keyboard shortcut, which is hold down the control key on your keyboard and hit the enter key, but you can go into insert and then just page break. So I'll use that option for this video. That just forces it onto the next page. It just means that when I start writing my executive summary, my table of contents is then not pushed further and further down the page. Okay, so if you are needing to force headings onto new pages, use your page breaks instead, and this will just give you that nice look when you're adding parts to your report further up. Then you don't have to double check that everything's still at the top of the page. Okay. Right, this is where I'm going to put my table of contents. Now I only have one heading in there at the moment, and that's absolutely fine. So a table of contents is still going to appear. So if I go into my references section, there we go, and then click on table of contents, I have some preset options in here. Use the presets, they're there, they're useful and very, very handy. So, and what it will also do is it'll make sure that table of contents heading is not included in your table of contents, because you do need to have a slightly different style. So my personal preference is automatic table 2. You can use automatic table 1 if you want, or you can customize it and create your own one. That is your own personal preference. I'm going to stick to some of the features in here to make my life just a little bit easier for this part. So that's it now included. I don't like the fact that my table of contents heading, it does not look the same as the main headings within my document, so I am going to update that style. So I'm going to do that just now, just to remind you how to update your styles. So I'm going to go back to Home, and within my Style section, I'm going to click on More, and then I'm going to right click on the heading that has selected, because this is the heading style that has applied to my table of contents heading. I'm going to right click that one, and I'm going to modify, and I'm going to modify it so it's Arial, size 18, and it's bold and it's black, just like my heading ones. Okay, I'm not going to use my heading 1 style, otherwise it's going to appear in my table of contents itself. If you do that, that's absolutely fine. It's not going to be anything that's the end of the world, but just for those little things, this will help you out. Once you've done that, click on OK, and then it looks exactly the same. Fantastic. Right. Once we've done that, I am going to force a new page because I want my introduction to start on a brand new page. Okay, so I'm going to type in introduction, and that's going to be my first section. Now again, I'm going to use my heading styles so that I know that's my introduction. Once you've done your introduction, you will have your discussion area, and I'm going to put in here, change to appropriate. Headings. Okay. I will then have my conclusion. I may need recommendations. This will depend on what you're doing for your report. I will definitely need my references. And this is optional as a bibliography. I'm going to put optional. So if you don't want to include a bibliography in your report, that's fine. You don't need this heading. Or you may want to include it in some reports and not others. And then appendices. Okay, and again, any section that you don't have or don't want to include or don't need to include, you just delete those. Okay, now I'm going to put these all to main headings, and you can put them on new pages as well. Okay, and in fact, what I will say is your references, and I've used the wrong heading style there. Your references should actually start on a new page. So I'm going to force a new page. I'm just going to place my cursor at the beginning of the word references and then insert a page break. And that will just take that heading and everything after it onto the next page. Okay, so that's what I've done to set up my report. I'm going to maybe put in a few more blank lines in between these sections, just so that there's some space between them. And as I said, you could do whatever you want. You can put whatever headings you want, and you can put some instructions in there as well to help you out every time you do your reports. So that is a basic template setup. Okay, I'm just showing you all the different sections. One thing is though, I do need to update my table of contents. Please remember and do this before you save for the final version and submit. Okay, so click anywhere within your table of contents and then click on Update Table. I always choose the Update Entire Table option, and this has everything in there. And then if I had to remove anything, it would remove it from there as well. Okay, so that is a template set up, but now we need to save it. Okay, so I have things in here. I'm going to leave this as blue, that's absolutely fine, but you may want to change it to Arial. It is up to you. In fact, I do suggest you change it to Arial. What you can do to save you having to change this all the time is in your design tab, if you go along to fonts, this is all the theme fonts that you could use. Choose the Arial option, and any text within your document will be Arial. Even if it's from one of the other styles within your styles gallery, it will all be set with the Arial font in there. What you can also do is you can change some colours. So if you don't like the blue, it is the default. You might like purple instead, or you might like green. Watch your contrasting of colours, okay? Or you might like, there is that kind of green, yellow. It's up to you. Okay, I'm going to keep it on the default just for this video, but you can choose a colour and you can change this every time you submit a new report. Okay, so I'm going to click on that. What you can also do is help with the styles of your headings, and you can choose some of the presets here if you want to. You don't have to. Okay, you can just leave it plain and with the formatting that you've set. Okay, so I've set up my template. I've changed my fonts to always default to Arial. I've had a look at the different colours and I may change it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this file, but I'm going to save it as a template file. What will happen with this one is it will allow you to open up the file, and every time you open up this template, it's going to start a brand new document, but based on this template. Okay, so file, and I'm going to go save as. Now I am going to save this to my PC. You can save it into your OneDrive, and I'm just going to save it on my into my documents folder. You can save it anywhere you want, okay, whatever is going to be easiest for you. I have my OneDrive on here as well, so that I have got that option. It's up to you how you want to do that. I'm going to call this report template. You can call it whatever you want, whatever's going to make you remember what it is, that's absolutely fine. But what I am going to change is my file type. So if I click on this drop down, I have got Word template. So if I click on that one there, you may find that your folder changes, so you may have to go back up into your documents folder. But this is a Word template document. It is not one that is going to change every time you open it up. So every time you open it up, I'll start a brand new document based on this one. Okay, so if I click on save, that is it saved, and you can see here. Okay. Now I'm going to close this document, and I am going to open up my folders. If you just give me a second. Sorry, it's on a different screen. Now in here you will see report template. Okay, and because it's a template, it's a slightly different icon to a normal Word document, and that is fine. So if I click on that one, double click and open it up, you can see it actually comes up as document 1. It started a brand new document for me, and it has all of my elements in it that I have set up for my template. Okay. Have a play about, set up a template if you want to, or even just remind yourself of some of the things that are in there. You can do this and just have a play about, see how you want to set up your reports, how you want them to have a look, what themes that you want to use, that sort of thing. Okay, this could save you some time when you are writing your reports, especially if you've got a lot of deadlines coming up. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video. If you do have any questions, please speak to one of your tutors and see if they can help you out. Alternatively, you can contact me, and I'll put my contact details on the last slide of this video. Thank you for watching, guys.